Welcome to UK Rail Journeys, Series 1. In this series I travel to North West Wales with the Steam Dreams Rail Company on their Welsh Dragon Tour. Episode 18, where we return to Paddington. We're currently in a very pretty valley, running at reasonable speed. As we're travelling south again, we're passing fields full of sheep. More fields that have been harvested. And we have a scheduled stop at Craven Arms, where we had the unscheduled stop on Sunday, where they had the fire in the diesel locomotive. For water, for about 15 minutes. We should be there in a few minutes. Over a level crossing, past railway workers taking pictures. There seem to be lots of Network Rail and other contractors out here today. Major infrastructure project. You can hear the hiss of the steam and the pumping of the tanker, which comes from TARDIS H2O. It's a large tanker, but then of course we've got two steam engines wanting lots of water. We've stopped at Craven Arms with just the engines and their support coaches on the platform. The rest of the train is on the outskirts of the station. This is quite a big job, getting two locomotives watered in a very short period of time. It sounds like the pump has stopped. Are we full of water? Are we nearly ready to go? The level of steam is a little quieter. The tanker's started up again. Maybe it's filled one locomotive and now starting to fill the second. It sounds as though on the other side there are quite a few people on the platform. There are some enthusiasts with their cameras out. And on the other line, a service train going north. I wonder if that's the Manchester train. It certainly looked very full of people. The pump has now stopped humming for the second time. Are both our locomotives watered? although I'm sat towards the end of the train, I can see the clouds of smoke from the locomotives passing by the window. That lovely smell that you associate with steam trains. As our journey progresses, we pass through Ludlow, Wooferton and Leominster in quick succession before we reach our stop in Hereford. The train is making good progress at the moment. Speedometer says we're doing about 74 miles an hour, which is about as fast as steam locomotives can go in this country. It's a very good run down the Welsh Marches line. Hereford in about 10 minutes. Everybody's back aboard. They've had a lovely time in Hereford. And now we're just starting on our way. And the dining passengers have a lovely meal. At the moment, the most popular drink appears to be water. It is extremely warm today. Making a good speed as we go along. I would think that the train's doing about 70 miles an hour at the moment. Sadly, the bright, clear blue sky of earlier on has disappeared. It has clouded over, though admittedly it has cooled off a little bit. I think the weather is due to break. Our route now, past fields full of sheep again. Many, many oak trees, woods, and gentle rolling hills. We'll travel through Traminn, Abergavenny and the main D junctions before our next scheduled stop at the Severn Tunnel signal NT 1228. We're now passing fields of maize. Large pile of rocks being broken up and loaded into large trucks. And the smoke from our engines passing by the window. We went through a tunnel a little bit earlier and everybody got a touch of smoke in the carriage. It was quite hazy because, of course, with all the windows open in a tunnel, the smoke blew in. It's all part of the adventure of taking a steam train ride. The hills are higher here, not mountains, but hills of a decent size. On my right, a herd of cows, and now a field of horses. 4 of them grazing happily. And then another field with another 4 horses, but this time they're galloping across the field. Maybe it's the sound of the steam engine that has taken them by surprise. I'm with Joseph, and he's going to tell me how he came across Steam Dreams when he was last looking for some work.
Well, it was all a bit haphazard. It happened through a friend of mine who had worked for Steam Dreams for a couple of weeks, and she asked if I was interested, as she knew that I'm very customer-focused, people-focused, and that I would enjoy the environment. And she was right. A week later, I joined the train on a trip down to Portsmouth, and I loved it straight away. I fell in love with the whole concept, the type of passengers that were on board, the service, the dynamics, and the working environment. And from there, it was history, really. So now I've worked for Steam Dreams for over 3 months. I work with fantastic colleagues. Everyone is really good fun and dynamic and flexible and hardworking. And we get to see places. We've gone on a few trips up to Scotland, to Wales, and later in the month we're going to Penzance in Cornwall. And I very much enjoy being with people, serving customers from all over the UK and making their experience a memorable one, really.
So it sounds as though you really have caught the bug. But at some stage you'll be going back to your previous job, I presume.
Yes, that's right. I have been offered a job a couple of months ago at the NHS, where I had previously worked for 9 months. So I'm transitioning back to the environment I came from quite reluctantly, because I do realise that I enjoy this sort of working environment far more. So I shall see where the future brings me and whether I enjoy my new role in the NHS. And if I don't, I shall simply leave and perhaps come back to Steam Dreams and carry on doing something that I enjoy and that makes me happy.
Well, thank you very much. That's great. We're currently running about 12 minutes late as we go through the main D junctions. It appears that our water stop wasn't needed, and so we've now started on our journey towards Gloucester, which is just over 45 minutes away. That means that we have actually caught up with our scheduled time. On this route that we have been along before, in the opposite direction, we quickly pass through Chepstow and Lydney before reaching Gloucester, where we stop for 25 minutes for more water. Evening is falling. The grey clouds don't help, but you can see light behind the clouds that shows that the sun is sinking in the west. For the last time on this holiday, we pass the Severn Bridge. The tide is out, the water calm, as we're heading north towards Gloucester. Branches at the side of the track, scraping down the sides of the carriages. It's halfway through dinner and we've stopped at Gloucester for the refuelling of the engines, and this is quite genuinely a refuelling. They both had coal loaded into their tenders and both being re-watered. A number of the passengers have said how interesting they've found to actually see all the different services that you need to be able to get these steam engines to work. I'm sure that in another few minutes we'll be ready to go. The catering team, the chefs and waitresses, have all come down the platform because a lot of passengers wanted to take their photographs. So we've just had a team photo. So we're on the last leg now. One more water stop, and then we're into Reading, and then Paddington, running a little bit late, but we're hoping to pick up some of that time. So have you found it?
Today has been very good. It started with an 8:30 pick-up at the hotel in Carnarvon this morning, a 2-hour coach ride round Wales, and to pick up at another hotel, which seemed the wrong way round, because why they didn't go and pick that up first and then come to us and then go down to London Junction, we didn't know. And I don't think many people at 8:30 in the morning wanted a 2-hour coach trip round the glorious mountains of Wales. As much as they are nice, not really at that time in the morning. But apart from that, we've been picked up at London Junction, and all has been well ever since. We stopped at Crewe, engine change. We went to Hereford. We had about 2 hours in Hereford. and we left Gloucester at about half an hour ago, following coal change and water change and everything else. So, all is progressing.
And how do you feel about the day?
We've had quite a good day, yes. It's been lovely and sunny again. We wandered around Hereford. We didn't get as far as the cathedral, but we got as far as Morrison's, had a tea and coffee or whatever. Yes, so we've had another good day, so it's been a good end to the 4 days.
Well, that's good to hear. And of course, the other thing, that just before we left Gloucester, after watering and coaling, it started to pour with rain. So we've even missed the pouring rain. But thank you, and it's been lovely to meet you on this trip. As I now leave Waterloo on my South Western Railway's electric train on the final leg home, my holiday has ended. Would I do it again? Yes, I certainly would. It's been a great time. I've met some really great people. Okay, things didn't happen as in the original plan, but there were a lot of reasons for that. The damaged bridge in mid-Wales, the engineering works in North Wales, some issues over the watering of the trains yesterday. But we got into Paddington with 2 steam locomotives proudly pulling us, although we were slightly over an hour late. It's been exhausting, it's been a very full time, and I've really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed this, the first of my UK rail journeys. This podcast has been produced by the Mr. T Podcast Studio. I take this opportunity to thank all of the passengers who travelled on the Welsh Dragon, the Steam Dreams catering team led by Daniel Butcher, Amy Stevenson and Carol Rowe, who were responsible for passenger happiness, John Shannon and his high-vis team of stewards, the team of drivers and guards from West Coast Railways, and Screwdriver Dave for keeping our spirits up. And thank you very much for listening.